What's going on, wrestling family? Welcome back to the channel. So we got to talk about one of my favorite wrestlers in WWE, and that is Seth freaking Rollins. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Stuff that he's been doing the past couple months, I'm not going to lie. Oh my God, bro. I don't rock with it. It's no bueno. But let's start off with a little bit of positivity, okay? I am a huge fan of Seth Rollins. I love what he does in the ring. He's great on the mic. I have so much respect for him because he's the epitome of a workhorse and a person who carries the company on his back. He plants the flag in the sand every chance that he gets. But even as a fan, I cannot put on rose-tinted glasses and act like I have not been seeing what I've been seeing the past couple months. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to his title run right now, especially since he got involved with the Bloodline and Cody Rhodes, it feels like it's been diminishing little by little. But to be fair, on Friday Night SmackDown coming up, when him and Cody Rhodes go to SmackDown to speak to The Rock and Roman Reigns, they kind of have an opportunity to turn that around. But before I get into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're new to this channel. Hit the bell next to it. And if you've been rocking with me for a minute, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you guys. Now, let's start off with the main thing that everybody has been talking about this week and been reacting to, and that's this promo that he and Cody Rhodes had on Monday Night Raw in response to what The Rock said on Instagram in a 20-minute promo and what he said on Friday Night SmackDown. Now, on the positive side, I like the fact that Seth Rollins did this in reference to The Rock. I like the fact that he told The Rock, if you want to take my title, you're going to have to pry it from my cold, dead fingers. But all positivity aside, I can't ignore the thing that everybody has been talking about, and that is when he said this.
Over the last week, I figured I'd come up with a new name for The Rock. Diarrhea Dwayne.
Oh my God. It gets worse and worse every time I hear it. Seth Rollins, just because you were dressed like Pikachu coming to that show does not mean you can say stuff that's for kids, bro. We're out of the PG era. No disrespect to Pokemon players. I rock with you guys. Gen 1 is my favorite starters. Gen 2 is my favorite game. We'll talk about that at a different time. But Seth, you said that you took a whole week to figure out a name for The Rock, for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, one of the greatest talkers of all time. And this is the best that you could come up with? You couldn't hire a comedian, a rapper, your wife, nobody to write something better than that? What is going on here? And I understand that wrestlers say corny stuff here and there. It happens. This in its isolation isn't a big deal, but it just encapsulates how I feel that Seth Rollins has been handled and what he's been doing the past couple months. Now, to be fair, I understand it because of CM Punk being injured. This is the reason why Seth is even in this whole predicament. I get that, but it's very unfortunate for him to be in a situation where he's going against two of the best talkers in WWE, and one of them being one of the best talkers in WWE history. But even then, bro, you could come harder, pause, than saying Diarrhea Dwayne. What is going on here? And this just shows what I've been thinking the past couple months, even going beyond the WrestleMania kickoff show. We had Roman Reigns cooking him left and right, left and right. You got The Rock now cooking him left and right. These guys are tag teaming him like he's on the top shelf show. This is like Hell's Kitchen going on in here. And Seth has yet to do anything of importance to retaliate. This whole thing of him being involved in this has not done him any favors, in my personal opinion, other than getting him that main event that he's always wanted. But in this situation, he's been getting cooked more than the people involved. Like, how do you add yourself into a fight and get beat up more than the people who've been in the fight for 15 minutes? It does not make any sense at all. And not only that, Roman has been disrespecting him and the division and his title. When they were at the kickoff show, they pretended like he's not there. And the reason why I feel like that's more of a bigger issue is because for people who came back to watching wrestling, which I've had some friends who started watching wrestling again solely because The Rock is there, if you know nothing about the wrestlers, if you know nothing about the characters, if you know nothing about their matches, if you just watch that kickoff show, to everybody, Seth Rollins is a scrub. Just by the way it looks like Seth Rollins is a scrub because they treated him dirty there. Of course, he said some things back, but he really didn't do anything of importance or anything that will remind people that he was actually, not for me, as a fan of Seth Rollins, what I would rather happen on Friday Night SmackDown, and it could have did a little bit of this before, but what can happen on Friday Night SmackDown? It's in response to all of this stuff. We got to get that sniper Seth Rollins back, right? If you don't know who I'm talking about as far as sniper Seth Rollins, I'm talking about the sniper Seth Rollins that had that whole situation with him and Matt Riddle when he said this.
My family, man, let's talk about your family. Oh, wait, you ain't got one because your wife divorced you and took your kids and they don't want to see your bitch ass anymore, huh?
And that's still crazy. Or the sniper Seth Rollins that said this to Finn Balor in their feud.
Any way you slice it, My title reign's already way longer than his was.
So you see what I'm saying? He could be witty. He could be petty. He can cut somebody below the belt. He can do all of that stuff. If they can sprinkle that in here a little bit, then I'll be fine. And I get that Seth Rollins back then was different. I get that he was a tweener and heelish type of character. But what I would love for them to do on Friday Night SmackDown is let The Rock and Roman Reigns get him to the point where he goes back to doing that. He knows a lot about Roman Reigns, right? There's so many things he can say about The Rock outside of him being outdated with these lines from 20 years ago or Diarrhea Dwayne or anything like that. Man, get at his DC movie. Say, hey, you did all that acting like you're doing now, and it's not gonna mean nothing at WrestleMania, just like it didn't matter in Black Adam in the box office. Like you gotta hit him with something witty. You gotta hit him with something petty, and he has to do it this Friday on SmackDown because he's been looking like he's a scrub this entire time. He's been bullied left and right. And I get it. That's not really a baby face thing to do, but I think it would be a great idea because his reasoning would be like, hey, they pushed me to the edge, so I had to undercut him. And I would love for him to slap The Rock to get him payback for Cody Rhodes. I know some people would love to see Cody slap him as a revenge, but with Cody Rhodes trying to be this person who's, I don't know, high caliber, this presidential type person, the Super Saiyan pastor that I like to call him, Seth Rollins, when Seth Rollins get upset, ain't no going back, and that would be perfect for Seth Rollins. And if he turns back around on Monday Night Raw and be like, hey, what I did on Friday was a little unprofessional, but you know what? I had to do what I had to do. When you get pushed to the edge, what other choice do you have? And then he could just go back to being the baby face that he was. It doesn't mean that he's a heel if he slaps them, right? So for me, they got to give this man an opportunity to redeem himself. If not, at the end of the day, just take the title off of this man. Because as long as he's holding it, and the more that he gets cooked, the more that title looks bad. And if he just got to take the title off of him, or the other alternative, which I doubt is going to happen, he's going to have to turn on Cody Rhodes. That's just what's going to have to happen. He got to do something, bro. But anyway, what do you guys think at the end of the day? I know it sounds like I'm crying, but bro, we got to... The title is suffering, bro. The title is suffering. And I got to explain to my friends, they're like, oh man, this guy is trash. Who's this guy in the Lucky Charms outfit? Like, they would say, I'm like, bro, like, I can't even defend this. I can't. There's nothing I can do. The people see what they see. I can't gaslight them to believe that they didn't see what they saw at the kickoff show and what's been happening with Seth Rollins up until this point. But that's just my personal opinion, bro. It is what it is at the end of the day. If they don't handle it properly, it's out of my hands. I'm not a part of it. He don't cut me checks. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching. Salute, peace, have a good day.